All right. Let's see. Do a mic check and see where we're at if I get caught up. What's up, Ryan Nargang, TPG, Clint Someway? Sounds great, he said. Big mouthful of beaver. Yeah. I was drinking out of my Klein mug earlier today, but Miss Maintenance must have put it in the dishwasher or something, so I had to grab the old Bucky's mug. Who loves you? Said I'm your guy. You're my guide for new tools. Appreciate that. Captain Donitz, what's up? BMCK. Let's see. Of course, I saw Matt and Jeff Bowery. I don't know if I saw anybody else in the pregame earlier. No, that's pretty much it. What's up, Sizzleneck? Ryan just installed a neon Milwaukee clock in the garage. Guess that's the tool that I bought this week. They've got a Klein neon clock on eBay, but it's like it's like 170 something bucks or something like that. It's like a neon circle around the outside that's orange. It's pretty sweet looking, but I don't know if I want 170 something bucks. What's up, Denny? I like the first person view of the camera during the videos. Yeah, normally if I'm doing a tool review, unless it's like something that's big, I try to just do my hands. It's easier to film that way for one, because then I'm not having to wonder if I can actually see what the camera's filming. And ultimately you're wanting to see the tool and not me anyway. So look at all that Vito in the rear. Yeah, I just made another Vito video today. I'll probably put it out Monday or Sunday because I've got a video coming out tomorrow for a flashlight. And then, of course, Saturday's Guess the Trades. So I got that video done today, but I didn't get it done till not too close to coming out here. So I didn't want to put it out and then have the live just a little bit after. I still don't know how all that stuff works. Like, how does it affect a video if you put them too close together or put them too far apart? I have no idea how any of that stuff works. I just throw my stuff out there. Whatever happens is what happens. No new tools this week. I think the only thing I bought was just the DeWalt bit holders at Lowe's the other day during that live. But I also was gone to Klein this week for the last 2 days. I just got home really late last night. Miss Maintenance picked me up at the airport about probably like 11, and then we hit bad traffic on the way home. I think we got home close to about 1 o'clock in the morning this morning. Is it set on 600? Oh, is it set on 6 o'clock, the neon clock? Hopefully, if you spend that much money on one, it's for sure going to work. Jeff found the Clint sticker. Sneak peek on the new video bag. Yeah, I might do that in a little bit. Yeah. See the new Klein Connect wrench set. Nice compact wrenches, a little shorter in length. Connect wrench set. So are they wrenches or sockets? Nice compact wrenches. So are they like because if maybe it's in a mod box. Is that what you mean by connect? Box end. I don't know if I've seen shorter ones, unless is that the one that Project Pine Hills? Are they shorter, the ones he had in his video the other day that come in the connect boxes? Because I've got the ones that are in the rolls. Like, I've got those ratchet and wrenches, but I don't have the ones that are in the mod box, in a connect box. I guess, do you call are those connect boxes? Let's see what this. So is this considered a I don't guess I've really even thought about the terminology of that because like the connect stuff is like the sockets and all that. That anything that's got that deal on it. Do they consider this a connect box or a mod box? Because there's some of these things that are in these which it has mod box on it right there. Some of them aren't connect like capable things. They're just stuff inside of these cases. But I think a lot of people call these connect cases. I probably do too. I'm rationing the connect box. Yes. Yeah. I saw Project Pine Hills video. I watched it the other day. So are those, I guess those are shorter. I don't even pay attention if he said anything about that. I was kind of, actually, I think I was watching that video and, uh, with the subtitles on because I was waiting in line or something somewhere. Do you need more wrenches? Amanda may make you disappear. I'm wanting to try those Klein wrenches that have the little slide on them that you can use to as a nut stop. I had mentioned to him about maybe sending me a set of those if they ever had them or whatever. I think Steve's Woodshop had them in a video of his. Because that's one thing about I don't think I've got any ration wrenches in this box. I just got regular ones. That's the advantage of a pass-through socket to me over a ratchet wrench is that you have like that stop to hit against that nut in case you're like just out in the middle of nowhere and you're wanting to move that nut up and down. If you have just a ratchet wrench, you got to basically sit there and hold that end right there on that nut versus a socket has like that stop. But that wrench set has that little slide on it where you can kind of kick it out. Are you sponsored by Klein? No, I don't receive any money or anything like that. Now they send me some stuff from time to time, but I'm not sponsored by anybody. Like nobody pays me anything to make videos. Like, and in fact, if people ask me to send me stuff, I don't charge anything to make a video of something. Like I purposely tell them, if you send it to me for free, I don't take money as long as I'm allowed to say whatever it is I want to say about it, and do whatever it is I want to do in my video. You can send me something, but I'm not having you pay me so that way basically I I can say whatever I want to and I don't feel like somebody's pressuring me to do something else. Congrats on the 40K. Yeah, I think I hit that uh Tuesday. I think it was Tuesday morning or something like that. What can you tell us about Klein? So I can't tell you about any of the stuff I saw. That's the one thing I can't say because most of it's all stuff that's coming. Like I didn't see anything that's like out now or going to be out in the next little bit or anything. It's all like futurish stuff. So, and I don't really even know when type of thing either. And some of it may not ever come out type of thing. But essentially went to Klein. This time it was only me and Clint from Tool Review Zone. So we were the only two that were there. Like last time I went, there was quite a few of us there. The first time I went, it was a group of about like 10 or 12 of us or something like that. But this time it was just me and him. And I kind of liked that because I mean, it was kind of not because it was like interesting to meet all those people the last time that I was there. But then this time it seemed like there was a little bit easier to check out things and give feedback on things and have more conversations with different people and stuff like that because there weren't so many people there. So maybe that's why they decided to have less this time. I don't know, but it was just me and him, and man, he is hilarious. Like he is like I would expected him to be kind of funny because he's goofy, like on his like YouTube channel and all that. But like he was super, really cool, super funny. Really, even maybe a little bit like different than I maybe would have expected with him being such a big channel. Like, I mean, super nice, like everything. Yeah, he was real nice. Like, what's up, John? Release the files. Any updates on the garage? So I haven't done. I did get the like. I don't think I've done anything since the last live. I did order some like shelf brackets to put up this shelf thing in here, but I've been gone. So, and then I was having to get kind of caught up on work, knowing I was going to be gone for a couple of days. So I worked a little bit later for a few days. So I haven't really done. I don't think I've done really any work since that live video. Maybe what was that last Saturday or whenever that was that I did that with the ceiling tiles and all that. I think that's the last that I've done. What's up, Lance Anderson? You don't want to have to lie about crappy tools. Yeah, and I normally will tell somebody up front, like if they send me something, I'll tell them like if I've got a problem with it, like, and I think it's just something because it's this specific one that you sent me, or whatever else, I'll tell you about it before I just like blast you and see if there's some way to fix it, or maybe I'm looking at it wrong. I want to make sure I'm not doing something wrong as well. But yeah, I don't know that I'll ever. I'm not going to say never, but I mean, I don't know that I would ever purposely want to take money in that aspect, because then I think I would feel like I can't really say certain things because this person's paying me money. Even though you might say, you can pay me, but I'm still going to say whatever I want to. I think that that just happens. It even somewhat happens if somebody sends you something free. I think your instinct is to be maybe a little bit nicer about it than maybe what you would, even if you try not to. I think sometimes that happens, even if you're like specifically trying not to. I think it's just subliminally. I think it might happen. What's up, Lexi? How far in the future are we talking, Captain Donitz? I have no idea. Like, because most of the stuff was not really even in any kind of a. It's more concept stuff. So it could be, I don't know, next. It could be next month. It could be 2 years. I have no idea. But they didn't really tell us anything like that. So I hope Clint has some good footage with you. He took a lot of, because we went on a tour just like I did last time, and so I went ahead and took some footage. I kind of took all my footage in the vertical mode this time because I kind of went on the similar tour the last time and made the video of going to Klein and all that. So that aspect, if I made a video of that, it would be very similar to what the last video was. I looked at pretty much mostly the same stuff. Did go over into the distribution side this time, like where everything, how it works to get from the factories to the trucks to the different stores and all that kind of stuff. I didn't get to see that last time, so that was a little bit new. But I went ahead and took some footage. I might make some like reels and shorts and stuff of like made in the USA or something out of them. He was taking he will probably end up having a video. He was taking, of course, he didn't go last time, so it was the first time he had been there. So you might want to be checking out his channel because I'm sure his will be a lot more funny than mine, just because that's what kind of stuff he does. His channel, Simple Minds, is a hoot. Genuine question: do you feel like Klein is mostly interested in the feedback, or is it mostly a marketing vehicle for him? No, I think they're dead. I mean, they read the comment sections. Like I've had them. I've had them specifically tell me some of y'all's comments. Like we saw this on this video. Like so, if you guys comment on comment sections of, I guess specifically Klein videos, at least for sure, they've got people checking them out and reading them and like. Um, Taking our feedback into consideration, asking us questions about what if which one of these ways do you think it would be better on this, all kinds of stuff. So they're 100% in it for feedback. And in fact, I'd even say, J Dot, that the marketing aspect of it, I've mentioned this before multiple times. Like they are the only company that I've worked with that doesn't really even ask you to do anything specific. Like stuff will just show up sometimes and like they don't say, make sure you make a video, or hey, we sent you this. How come you haven't made a video for it yet? Or they really want you to use it and then tell them what it is that you think about it. You got a house mortgage and veto bags behind you. I got pretty good deals on, well, I don't guess I really got a good deal on the CBLD. I still bought the Velocity bag and then I paid to ship it to Jeff. So, but I didn't lose money on the CBLD, and I got a really good deal on the other bag that I've got, and maybe I'll show you a little bit of it today. But that's the one I made a video for today. Have I used Aquafault? I don't know what Aquafault is, so no. What what is Aquafault? Have they heard the comment that their drivers have too much slop? Yeah, that comment, they've been working on their grips. You know, a lot of people are talking about how their grips end up slipping. They've been doing some stuff about that. Multiple things. Like I said, they read them, they see them. Like because they even mention it without you don't even have to bring it up. You know, they already know it. Do they have a display of all the limited editions or older tools? So they had this glass section. I think I got a few pictures of some of it, which I can't really probably show. I'd have to look at it and see what's in it because some of them stuff that isn't out yet. But uh, the oldest pair of Lymans, I think it said that it was circa like 1880 or something or other. They had those in there. I think a little while back they had some kind of a contest thing going, like to try to find the oldest pair of Kleins that were in like circulation or whatever it was. I think they got a pair from like 1880 or something like that. I think was in there. They had those new 250 sets like that's out at Lowe's now that you just got in the mail today. They had those out. Couldn't touch like they were behind like nothing that you got to get out and like have in your hands or anything, but they were behind like a display. Then they had that like 160th anniversary year set out there. A couple other different ones. They're on to you. Careful what you talk about now. Dear Klein Tools, that Bowery boy needs a factory tour. Yeah, and you're not even that far away. It wouldn't cost that much to get you there. Every time I think I have enough flashlights, I end up going out and buying a new one, Lexi said, but it's because I lose them as fast as I can buy them. I'm that way sometimes with utility knives, which I mean, I've got this is extras where I change them out or I have them in my pocket and I set them down in here. But I mean, I've got, and this is only part of them. This is why I have so many of them though. Like I end up putting them on this, I clip them to the side of these, but I'll leave these laying around kind of like tape measures and then I end up getting out another one out of a package, and then next thing you know, I find all these. So I'm that way with utility knives, not so much flashlights. I've been carrying that littlest Fiskars one, which is over here. Yeah, this is the one I started carrying this one instead of the 1505. The little I don't know what the part number is on this one. It might be on here. YC1023. I don't know if that's it. It's the Fiskars Pro, but it's the mini version. Like here's the I think yeah, here's the bigger one of the two. But I actually kind of like the way this one fits in my pocket. It doesn't have the screwdriver aspect on it, but it's worth it for the size of it. And I like how it fits in my hand. So I've been carrying this one now for about probably 2 or 3 months instead of a fastback. Maybe they read me saying their new pliers wrench is crappy and hard to use. Yeah, they said something about some guy named Someway. Klein folding tool cart. I didn't see anything like that. And if I did, I wouldn't be able to tell you, but I didn't see anything like that. So I saw some of their regular ones, the ones that are out now, like the mod box ones. And I only saw those like in the distribution area. Like they didn't purposely bring them out to show them to me or anything. They need more locking bit holder options. Can't stand the flip magnetic stuff. I've mentioned to them that they need to, get their eyeballs on these and start making Klein versions because there's not very many people that have those. Hope to have a big collection like you someday. It comes one tool at a time. Like I've been buying tools for a long time. Like people probably look at like somebody like me and think, "Oh, you just spend a ton of money on tools." I really don't spend as much as what I used to because I've already got so many. Um, but I just buy stuff as I need it, and like every now and then I'll upgrade to something newer, and then but that I also make sure and take care of all my stuff. That way, I can sell the old tool and at least get some of that money off. So I never end up usually paying full price for tools. So even though I got a lot of tools, I don't have as much money in them as what most people might think because I'm always, willing and dealing with getting rid of my old stuff, kind of circulating stuff in and out, which is again another reason It's a personal preference for me. I like keeping my stuff clean. I like keeping it like nice, but I also know that I'm going to try to sell it later, and that's obviously going to get you more money. So the Aqua is new asphalt that you spray with water and tamp it. 3-year warranty, comes in a 5-gallon bucket, activated by water. I need to do some repairs on my driveway, and I've been back and forth. I think I'm going to have a company come look at it though. I've patched the cracks for several years, doing like the put sand in it and all that kind of stuff like that. It really needs to be like hot patched and stuff like that. But I've got some other spots in the edges. It's a really old driveway. It's been here for a long time, like well before we were even here. So I'm debating on whether or not I need to just take it up and get a whole new blacktop driveway put down. But I might look that up. Is it me, or does it seem like Klein is poised to get into battery tools in a big way? I've seen some in their mod box marketing materials. They've had some. I've seen some old. I don't know. I've only seen it in passing, like kind of like what you just said there. I've seen stuff in. I've never seen it in a store or anything. I've seen stuff in pictures and stuff of like a Klein, and sometimes it's taking DeWalt batteries even or something like that. I've seen some power tools that were Klein, but they normally took like another brand's battery or something like that, and they were like some sort of a specialty tool or something. But Clint's never met a free tool he doesn't like. I'll pay my own way. Just let me in. It's funny, Jeff. That's what I actually told him the first time I went. I'm like, they were like, "Oh, thank you so much for coming," and I'm just like, "Man, y'all don't realize I would have like if y'all would have just said we're gonna let some people come in and take tours and it costs this much money, I'd have paid to go down there." Those 250th are pretty like you. I like how they etch the iron workers for their tools. Yeah, I've got some stuff. Of course, whenever I travel, I'm a backpack traveler. Like I'm not checking bags and all that kind of stuff. I don't even like getting a bag that I have to put up in the carry-on thing to get down. Because sometimes, they're always like, we don't have enough room for carry-on, so you're gonna have to check your bags, and then that makes you have to go down there and wait in line to get that out of the carousel and all that. So I normally, if I'm traveling, I'm putting my stuff in a backpack, and that's it. That way, I'm getting on the plane, I'm getting off the plane. That's the one stops I do. So I got some stuff that they're going to be sending to me that was given to me there that I'll go through at some point in time, maybe with you guys too. That's some pretty cool stuff. You need a dedicated spot on your hip for utility knife so you're not the lever of tools around. Yeah, normally I put it right. Like I normally carry my knife like what I do with that little dude. That's that, yeah. I normally just carry it in my pocket right here because I don't carry other stuff in my pants pockets normally, like tools or anything like that. And then that way I usually carry that all the time. Like even if I'm not working, like I'll have a utility knife on me. That's normally what I do. But what I end up doing is I'll use it on something and set it down just like this. And the next thing you know, I basically treat it like a tape measure. It's the same problem I have with tape measures. Side by side so people see how small it is. Yeah, it's quite a bit smaller. So, and then it's quite a bit uh, thinner too. This is a fairly thick knife up here, and more so, it's this part of the knife is really thick on the bigger version versus that one. Still haven't gotten any Fiskars yet. I would have bet you wouldn't have read that out loud. You called my bluff. I read your stuff some way. A lot of times you're not talking to me. I don't read the stuff if you're not talking to me. Maybe some metric wire strippers. Not It was more of a specific side of things that I was looking at while I was there. It's not to say I didn't see like everything in the world that they've got coming out. So I couldn't tell you if they've got anything like that coming out or not. I didn't see anything like that, but that's not to say they're not. I'd go in on all their little toolboxes if they were locking for sure. Yeah, I want more locking bit holders like the DeWalt that's thin and magnetic. That's the two. That's why I like these so much. And, I like the Milwaukee ones. They're great, but they're just bigger on the end. I use them, but I prefer those I prefer these in my screwdrivers and stuff because they're more like a screwdriver shaft, not near as thick. Because I pretty much only use 1-inch bits. Maybe Klein could invite the whole group like a field trip. Check it out. And so you're going to try the Aqua, whatever. I can't even remember what it was. Aqua Fault, maybe is what it was called up there. Well, let us know how it goes. Maybe you could take a picture of like the spot before you use it and take a picture of the spot after you use it and email it to me. My email is pretty much on, if you go to, it's on my page channel, but it's on like, if you go to any of the guess the trade videos and look in the description, my email's in all those. Elliot, anything to the electric screwdriver I saw in a video? Not that I saw. So Elliot, that was like the Tools Addicted or something like that. Of course, he's based out of somewhere else and not in the US. So I don't know if he was able to get his hands on something different. Have you tried the needle nose Fujiya wire strippers, small and slim too? I'm a believer in the longer fastbacks. When you order Vito, do you get a tracking number for the promo bag? It depends. I think if you order through Vito, they're pretty good. I don't know if you order it through other stuff. I've only ordered my Vito bags through Vito, I think, unless like I've got them like from a person type thing, individual. As far as store wise, actually, I did order one through Acme Tools one time, but they're pretty good if I remember right about sending like emails, like updates of this one's shipped and this one's this. But I don't know about tracking numbers like separate, but I think they do email you about like when stuff gets sent out. Every time except for one a long time ago, most of mine's always arrived at the same time. But there was one year where I got them kind of a little bit separate. The mighty Joey has time for emails. He's a busy guy. Yeah, it gets pretty busy with between the comments and the emails for the robot kitty litters and the leggings and all the other stuff that people want me to make videos for. Seen someone's video about a black box cutter. Still haven't come out with a jigsaw that I use, the Bosch jigsaw that you pull up the blade lock with the twists, and then when it's locked in, it clicks. Had it since 2006. My corded jigsaw is a Bosch over there. I don't remember if I had like a cordless Bosch jigsaw whenever I was running Bosch tools or not. I've had that corded one for quite some time. I always keep a corded saw, like, just for certain things. It's same thing with a grinder, like, I've got corded there's certain tools that if you're doing a specific job that's just gonna eat batteries like crazy, it's worth getting it out and using a plug-up version. What's up, Sadalgo? Addicted to Tools has a lot of Aussie tools that it may be rebranded one for that market. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If I think he's from somewhere else, so they've got tools like in other places that the same thing like the Klein Marvel pliers, you can't get those here, but they have them in other places. So there's other tools that might come out in other markets that we might not ever see. Anyone get an NFL mini Cobalt box? I didn't end up getting one. I thought about it. I kept looking at them, and then I was just like, I don't have room for one up here for one thing. I decided not to get one. I almost bought one though. The Klein electric screwdriver was shown at the Light Plus Building Trade Fair in Germany. I think it's every 2 years. Bowery Boy got the Patriots box. Anyone manufacture a shim jig? I've made myself one to make shims on a table saw, if that's what you're talking about, like a little block. Jamie Perkins made one that's pretty simple on Perkins Builder Brothers, but I don't know if it was in a separate video because it's been a little while. Like there for a little while, Perkins Builder Brothers would have some videos that weren't necessarily like them building a house every day or whatever. And I remember he made one that was pretty simple. Uh, I made one kind of like it, but I think I threw it away because I basically made one time, went through a bunch of my scrap lumber before I burned it, and then ripped some shims out of like my 2x12 scrap pieces and all that kind of stuff. And then I think I threw it away after that because I didn't want to keep up with that. I figured I'd just make myself another one again one day. Denny got one for his nephew. No room. You have a shed in the shed. I guess I could have got one and put it on my Work Pro bench down there. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, I bought some shelf brackets. I haven't got them out of the box yet. Matter of fact, I think I set them in there. That I'm either going to put the shelf in that doorway over there on the wall that you can see through the doorway where that blue ladder's at, or I'm going to take this box down anyways. That's got my MCT in it, and I'm either going to put more screwdriver holders up there so I can put more screwdrivers on it, or I might put. I think that's what I'm going to do there because I don't think I could fit very many shelves to put my bags on right there anyways, like because I don't have a lot of room right there left and right. So I think I just answered my own question. I was back and forth on whether or not I wanted to put like a couple shelves right there and then put my bags on that, the ones I'm not currently using. I use composite shims most of the time. I run a mix of them. Sometimes for exterior doors, I use 100% composite. Interior doors, sometimes I buy the ones that are a little bit longer that they have at Home Depot. Like I've got a pack of them over here because I like which Home Depot has started selling them. I think it's Home Depot. It could be Lowe's. They're selling them in a cardboard box now, and I kind of like that for storage purposes because that's the one thing about a bunch of shims is it's hard to store. But I normally buy like this length whenever I'm doing a lot of doors and stuff because it's just easier to me to be able to come in from both sides. But exterior doors, I use 100% composite. Anyone have experience with the Milwaukee M12 drill? So I've got the older version and the newer version. The older version I use to mix my hot mud. So it just stays in my truck. That's all I use it for. I put my little mud mixer and mix up drywall mud in my pan with it. And then my other one, I leave it in here and I use it. I mean, it does pretty good for an M12. Like I drill concrete, like it's a rotary hammer, uh, not rotary hammer, but hammer drill, and it does good like in hollow block. You can drill holes in concrete as long as it's smaller, like 3/16, 5/32 for tap cons or something like that. But pretty decent for the size. Um, I carry my M18 in my truck just because I've got the M12 in there to mix my drywall mud, and then that way, if I need to drill like a 6-inch hole saw or something like that, I don't think you'd want to use that for that. But I have used the little M12. I've used that for 6 inches, like in drywall, using my Milwaukee adjustable hole cutter to do for like recess lights and stuff. I've used the M12 one for that, and it's worked fine. I think y'all got me wrong. The one with SDS, well, I've got that too, and it's really good. Like I've got the new one and I have the old one. They're both good. The new one, of course, has the chipping feature, but the new one also has like a hook on it. Big difference. Like the original SDS rotary M12, I never had anywhere good to like if I was always working off of a ladder, like putting holes in the side of a building and then having to hang something or whatever it was. There's nowhere to put it. Like so I put spider drill pins on it or I did whatever to make it to where I could hook it onto my vest. But the new one's got like a little rafter hook, so you can just hang it right there on your ladder. It's super nice just to have that. The chisel feature's okay. I've not used it really for anything major. I mostly have used it to go around and vibrate concrete. I put like a chisel in it and go around and just sit there and put it on the chisel feature and go against my boards whenever I poured like small pieces of concrete, like whether it's this little curb over here or whatever, just to vibrate it out. It works good for that. But I've not really used it much for the chisel feature for demo or anything like that. But as far as a hammer drill goes, like drilling holes, the M12s are good, like the SDS ones. I just got an M18 SDS. Yeah, one of these days I'll probably buy an M18 like SDS. I actually don't know if I will though. I kind of wanted to buy an M18 SDS Max. I was going to buy one back whenever I was doing this building and I wanted something to break up the dirt whenever me and Miss Maintenance were digging those footers, but that's when I went and bought the Bauer because I decided I'm going to be throwing this thing around in the mud. I'm going to be hot. I'm going to be just wanting to throw it down whenever I'm taking a break from a shovel to an SDS Max. So I just went ahead and bought the Bauer SDS Max, and it was on like sale for like $100 something, and it worked great. So I've got that as a corded option, and I also just don't drill, that many holes of that size. Like I've got a 4 inch hole saw bit's about the biggest that I have because every now and then I have drilled like a dryer vent or something like that for somebody to get out their wall. But typically, I don't run the big ones. I've got a bunch of the because my old Milwaukee, I had a Milwaukee SDS that had like the spline drive, and I've got a bunch of bits that are for that, but they don't fit in that Bauer. So I've either got to buy an adapter, which is pretty expensive to go from spline to SDS Max, or I've just got to rebuy those bits again the next time I might need them. But the SDS bits can get expensive when you get up in them bigger hole sizes. Masters just went off, so it's Morgan time. What's up, Terry? Thinking of getting it because I do a lot of overhead work. It's definitely a one-handed, like you can use the M12 SDS one-handed all day long. Uh, I've used it multiple times, putting up shutters on the outside of building, like reaching out from my ladder and putting holes in bricks so I can put those little shutter locks in and uh, lots of different things like that. Tubbock said Harbor Freight has their parking lot sale right now this week. He's thinking of getting the Icon flip light. Yeah, 12 millimeter plugs. I think I've used mine for at least, uh, I know I've done some half-inch holes at least, but I think I've even done 3/4 with mine. It may not be as fast as the M18 once you get up to them bigger sizes, but it does it no problem. It might take 3 more seconds, you know? You know how some people time those things and be like, "Oh, this thing is 2 seconds faster than this one's." Like, I mean, who cares? 2 seconds if it's just something you're doing occasionally. Now, if you can shave 2 seconds off of something you do 1,000 times a day, that's pretty good, but is the Wubin X4 a good light? I think that's what is that what this one here is? This is X4. Yeah, X4. It's not bad. The shape of these Wubins, this one might be no, I got it. They're a little bit clunkier in the width of them sometimes compared to I think it's because 'cause they're more boxy instead of being, like, rounded as much. But, I mean, it puts off a lot of light. This is usually actually the one that I grab if I'm doing something around here, and it has the front light here too. Not I don't know how much how much is it now? Because there for a while, they were really expensive, and then they dropped the price on them a lot. I don't know how much it is to say, yeah, at that price, I'd definitely type a good thing. This is probably the biggest light of all the ones I keep in here as far as lumen, so I grab it sometimes if I'm doing something in a really dark spot. Oh, other than like, sometimes I just go ahead and grab, these. So the light that I've got a video coming out tomorrow is uh, that one there, the Sofern ST2. I got a video for that coming out tomorrow, 7 a.m. because I think it's going on sale tomorrow. And I didn't mention it in the video, so I'll tell you guys. I did put it in the description in the comment section because sometimes I don't know it until after. Like, I'll make a video and then I'll email the people and say, "Hey, I got a video done. I'm going to schedule it for this time. Here's a link to it if you want to see it when it comes out," type of thing. And that's when they'll be like, "Oh, well, I'm going to give you a discount code of this," and then they'll give you a code and all that. And it's like, why they don't tell you that stuff up front? I have no idea to where you could say it in the video or whatever. So anytime I do a video or something, you might want to always check the description because I don't even know that I'm getting a discount code to even say, "Hey, check the description for a discount code." Because sometimes I don't know it till after I've already filmed. But they're going to give like a 30, I think it's a 35% off discount code. So, I mean, that's probably the biggest discount code I've ever been given on something. So I don't know. It's supposed to be on sale and a 35% off discount code. So it might end up being fairly cheap. X4 is $39. That's not bad. I mean, that's pretty decent light for 40 bucks. Magnetic base. Yeah, it is. It's not, it's one of them. It's kind of the same as once you get up into about this size or bigger. Let me find my little middle. It's one of those magnetic bases where definitely strong enough to hold the light. But if you wouldn't want to like carry it in your van like that and then be driving around town, it's going to come off. But like anywhere you put it to do work, it's going to stay as long as that's like a stationary thing. Once you get up into like this size light, that's the case with every light that I've ever tried that has that on it. It's just so much weight, to try to hold up with a little magnet. And then this one also has the little tail light, back here on the back side to turn it on and off too, like a little. This one's got a lot of features on it. For 40 bucks, that's not bad. Because back whenever I first got it, I think when I made the video, I want to say it was 90 bucks or something like that. It was way more expensive than $40. Mm-mm-mm. Let me see what that does because I just noticed that. Yeah, no, it didn't turn on. I thought whenever I set that on there, it was clicking it, but it didn't. I don't care about the time. For me, it's just the type of work and weight and battery system. It would be perfect for me. Just wanted some feedback. Yeah, I love it. Like, it's really I've got a Bosch 18-volt hammer drill SDS Plus, and I never get it out anymore. I use my M12 all the time, unless because my M12 stuff's the SDS Plus too, so they take the same bits, and I never get out my Bosch one really ever. I can't think of the last time I got it out actually. Now I just got to get a deal on it. Yeah, I'll grab mine out of the I think I got my keys in here. Mine's real easy to get to because I keep it in my drawer. I'll just grab mine out real fast. I gave my old one away to my buddy I work with all the time because I obviously don't need two M12 rotary hammer drills, and he didn't have one, so I went ahead and gave him my old one. But it worked really well too. If you find the old one and you don't ever think you'll use the chisel feature, and it's super cheap, then I would consider buying that. Now, if they're very similar in price, like I said, this right here is huge. You'd think how much does that really affect like anything? But like I said, if you're working off of a ladder, if you don't have this, there's nowhere to put this thing, like, but to set it on the top of the ladder. So that's what I was always doing with mine. There was a couple times I ran like a spider. I don't know if I got the spider straps in here or not. I might have one. Like I used to use those on it. I don't think I got one in here. I think they're all in my truck where you can, the old style, before I started buying the spider pins, they've got Velcro straps that you can run across the handles and have the ball on it. That's what I ended up using a lot. But I mean, you can see there, even if you put a bigger battery, uh, very easy to hold one handed, very small and compact. I mean, it's not even really drastically bigger than a, I mean, it's obviously bigger, but I mean, it's not like it's like, wow, it's crazy bigger. It's definitely a one handed tool. It's kind of to me like the M12 planer. Like it's awesome to have that little planer for certain things because it's so easy to maneuver one handed, even though it's not going to obviously eat through. Like if you're trying to plane down a big truss, floor truss or something, you know, you wouldn't want to use the M12 planer, but for sides of doors where you want a little bit more finesse and be able to control it a little bit better. I don't think I, I don't think I ever made a video for this, did I? I meant to. I've actually got some footage on my computer where I saved it for, like, I had a couple jobs where I used it and I was filming while because I was trying to get enough footage of me using it before I made a video, but I don't think I ever ended up making a video for this. I think I might have talked about it in a live or something maybe, but I don't think I ever made an actual video. I'm loving this warmer weather, Tom said. Yeah, it's been nice. Like it's still kind of been a little cooler in the mornings, but it's not been like cold in the mornings. It's just been cooler, like, you know, low 60s, something like that, not like 30s or something like that anymore. So that's at least been nice. I use the M12 one-handed reciprocating saw with the Diablo 9 inch. Yeah, the little M12 hacksaw is not like, it's not super. It's a very handy saw to have, but I've got the M18 like sawzall. Like if I'm doing some sawzalling like a lot, that little M12 is not good. But not if you want to like stick it into like a small cabinet or stud bay and cut some piping or something like that, it's very handy to have that small compact size. But it didn't. The M12 hacksaw is not like super crazy powerful. Just hold it in your mouth, easy peasy. Yeah, I remember I used the spider pin thing. I've also used like a tether on my vest, I think, with the old one. Like I said, this one right now, I just clip it on my ladder. It's fantastic. Like I said, just something so small like that little hook. What a difference that makes. That's the best upgrade, in my opinion, even over the chipping mode. I've still had a cough. Like I can't get rid of it. One of the best hitting rotary hammer drills I used was the old school V28 US made Milwaukee Talking Hand Tools set. Joey makes me poor. I've ripped up a few thousand square foot of glue down flooring with that M12 SDS and the extension. Yeah, I've got a big SDS Plus extension that I bought a long time ago. It was like $100 for this thing, but it's nice because it's came in handy multiple times. I think it's Bosch, if I remember right. It's all worn off of it now, but I think it was a Bosch brand. But I mean, it's a really long SDS Plus extension. But as long as you're drilling a hole bigger than this, if you're going through going through brick and then maybe a concrete block wall on the inside of that brick and all that, to be able to get through all that with like a pilot hole or something, it's nice to have, this right here. But you can also use this, like what Matt was saying, as an extension. So you're not sitting there crawled up on the floor all the time if you're using a scraper or something like that. You did a short on it? Okay. I knew I did something on it, but I know I never made it because I never made the long video. Like I said, I've got some footage. I've saved it on my phone for the longest time, and then I took it off my phone and put it on my computer because I got tired of looking at it. I kept waiting to see if I could get some footage of demoing something with it, and I never have really done much with it in that aspect, and I don't really have anything around my property that's just, "Hey, I'm gonna go tear this up to make a video." So I kept waiting to see if I'd find something like that, and then I forgot about it, I guess. They haven't ever sent me a link for the ST2 yet. Uh, yeah, like I said, Steve, he just literally emailed, like I emailed him just to say, "Hey, I've got these scheduled," because I was gonna be leaving and I was wanting to get them out so that I wouldn't be in a rush whenever I got back. And that's when he emailed me and sent me the stuff. It drives me crazy how people like wait because it's like all this information would be very easy if you just go ahead and give me at the beginning of it. That way I know, again, I could have made mention in the video. They're giving a 35% off, discount and yada yada yada. But they don't tell you any of that stuff until after you email them and say, "I've got the video done." And then they're like, "Well, can you add this?" No. Somebody who's skilled maybe can, but not me. I'm not a big fancy editor. It's hard and time consuming to clean the condenser with the unit with the small grill like hose, taking off the top, pain in the butt. Yeah, there's several condensers that have that whole entire wrap, which it's nice because it protects it a little bit better, I think. But yeah, it's very hard to clean those without just taking the whole thing apart. Like you have to take all the sides off and all that stuff, especially if you want to clean from the inside and outside, which normally I take the top off and clean from the inside out. I go ahead and take the fan off and all that kind of stuff most of the time, unless it's just kind of like, hey, I'm just going to rinse this off today just to check something or whatever it is. But yeah, there's certain units. I think a lot of them are Goodmans around me that have like the whole entire outside is really encased in a metal shield, not just the wire stuff, and with little holes, and it makes it very hard to clean it without basically taking it all apart. You got to take it 100% apart. Want the M12 bandsaw? So I've only got the original version, the compact version, which I love it for cutting like I want to say it will cut up to 1 inch. Maybe not. I know for a fact it does 3/4 like EMT and stuff because I've used it for it a bunch. But I want to say maybe you can cut up to an inch. I don't think you can do an inch and a quarter, but I think you can cut up to 1 inch stuff. But it's super small, like very compact. You are limited on what you can cut with it, but if that's what you're cutting, it's great. And then they came out with the M12 fuel one. It's a little bit bigger, but it also cuts. I want to say maybe you can cut up to 2 inch stuff with that one or something like that. Maybe even a little bit bigger than that, but it's also bigger. Like the one I've got is like same thing as this, one-handed all day long, like doesn't get tired, super small. The other one you can use one-handed, but it's a little bit of a stretch the average person probably couldn't use it one-handed. Me being as strong as I am, not a problem for me, but most of you weaklings, you probably wouldn't be able to do it. What's up, Chris? Sonya and I have thrown off COVID again, both back to our usual selves. So I felt really good up until like I started feeling like I almost felt like I'm getting sick again yesterday, uh, before I was coming home. And I felt a little bit weird last night. Been kind of tired today, but I don't feel like I'm sick. I don't feel right. But I've still got the cough and stuff from the last time I was sick. The issue with the scraper is 99 buck extension. Yeah, that I remember that one cost me $100, and I was like, so like, I needed it to drill a hole through. I don't remember what I was going through, but it was like a big, deep concrete header or something like that, and I didn't have any bits long enough, and it was with one of those where I could either buy a longer bit. I think that was going to cost me like $70 for the bit, or I could buy that for 100 and then put my bit that I already owned in it that was the right diameter. And I thought, well, I think that that's the better buy, even though it's $30 more, because then I can use that on all the other bits I already have. So it's definitely worth it to buy that extension if you end up needing a long bit sometime in your life, because it's not much more than buying a long bit. I will run a 6 millimeter drill bit on it mostly because that's the plug size I use the most. Yeah, I don't. Let's see what 6 millimeter would be the equivalent of. I'm not real sure. Probably not a lot different than the 3/16, which that might be like a quarter or something. I don't know, but 3/16 and the 5/32 are what we use for tap cons over here. I run those in that all the time, like, and then quarter inch sometimes too. I'm not good enough to. I think 6 millimeter is pretty close to a quarter. What's it, 7 millimeter or something like that? So should be fine. M12 subcompact will cut inch and 5/8 strut. 5/16. I live you long time is very different from I love you long time. What's up, Fake Properties? Yeah, metric math. It's funny, like how I typically do that metric math now, though, is I've got all the Malcos that are the metric flip sockets or even the Kleins now. And I've gotten used to the sizes that are kind of the SAE. And so that's how I look at it. I think the 7 millimeter is like um, maybe that's the 5/16 of the metric or something like that. Mm. I did bring home I did get me a coaster that I brought home because this could go on my backpack. So what's up, CE Tooled In? You kept thinking I was talking about your signal on your live the other night, but I was talking about my signal. I was in the airport in Dallas and like it kept saying I had 3, 4 bars, but I could tell every time I got on anything that I was trying, like I could text people that was working fine, but anytime I got on something that was the internet, it was pretty slow. So If I used a bandsaw all the time, I would have bought a compact bandsaw, got the first gen deep cut. I had, I never owned it, but we had at the place that I worked at before I went out on my own, we had the, M18, not the deep cut bandsaw, but I guess it's called the M18. Maybe that's the subcompact, like the smaller version of the M18. I bought it because we were doing a lot of, chain link fence and setting the posts and then cutting them off, and it was just the right size. I basically just cut the tops of them posts off so I could get them all, level with each other, and it worked really well for that. But I've never owned an M18 one like myself. Like, I don't have any of the M18 ones. Mm, 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 mm. Yeah, I think mostly what my stuff's been's been like, allergies and stuff because all the, dandelions, and there's been quite a bit of pollen, and with the, seasons changing, I can just feel a lot of like that kind of stuff. Like I said, I don't feel bad. It's just a lot of that kind of stuff in your head and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, so I made a video today. Got the CBLD from that Bowery boy, but then I got the SPLD. It came in the mail while I was gone to Klein. I got that from the literate laborer. He emailed me and asked me if I was interested in buying his. He said he decided he didn't really wasn't a good fit for him, and he gave me a deal on it that I couldn't pass up. So I've got a video coming out for it, comparing it to the CBLD and the SPMC. If you've been thinking about that bag too before the spring promo is over, so that's going to come out. But essentially, it is a bigger version of the SPMC in a nutshell. But now I think I've got now, let's see. I think I've only got 2 of those. But now I've got at least like 3 of these pouches, which these are really handy to have for like my vest and stuff. Like, these work great on your tool vest and all that kind of stuff. They're a little bit small. Like, I wish I'd had, like, I'll be glad when the Evo pouches come out to get one that's bigger, that's this kind of stuff. But man, you can't, on the Strauss vest and all that kind of stuff, you can't hardly, that's when I use these. Uh, I don't really use these that much. But now I've got even a couple more of those now. And that's essentially the SPLD. The thing that you got to decide, which again, I mentioned it in the video. I don't want to go crazy on it because if y'all watch the video, you're going to hear everything I'm going to say here. But the price of it, if you factor in, I'm getting, like, if you went and bought these things separate, that's quite a bit of money, and they come with it, so it makes it not as bad to be able to get like a small pouch and drill holster and all that kind of stuff. Last year, Acme had a 17% off item flash and 15% off a couple times. Nothing so far. Hope they have that again. Hoping to get a Vito. Yeah, I think that's when I bought that Tech Pack MC. Was they had some kind of a deal going on like that, and then I got the another SPMC for free and gave that to my buddy that I work with all the time. MP2X is on the Evo MP2X is on my list, and the 3B bucket. Hopefully the regular MCT blackout drops when the Evo comes out. SPMC is better, I think. Less pockets, less weight. The new changeover video was good. Yeah, so basically I take the same tools that I just put in the CBLD and move them over to the SPLD too. A little bit less room for sure than the CBLD. A little bit more room than the SPMC. It's mostly The SPMC is still like a really good bag. Like I didn't mind the tipping aspect of it. I didn't really have a big problem with it. I'm only doing this because I like to try out some of these bags. And like I said, he made me a good deal on this. I couldn't pass it up. Uh, if you didn't like the SPMC because it was tippy or because it just barely didn't hold enough tools for you, then this might be the option you want to go with. But if the SPMC is working for you, then it's a very good bag in my opinion. I like it. MP2X Evo, top of my list. What's the appeal of the Evo system? The hard plastic looks like it would dig into you if the accessories on your belt. We'll see. Like this stuff, it doesn't bother me. I'm sure it's a little different than this. Like this is pretty padded. I don't know. Obviously, I haven't seen them in person. The biggest thing for me is being able to just bang it on a panel or something like that, and just if it holds your tools up there and you don't even have to wear it. And even more so, like the meter pouch side of things, because I don't have a field piece meter. I'd like to be able to just throw my meter up on something and have it hanging there pretty easy too, and be in a case. So we'll see. The magnetic part of it's the more interesting thing to me about it than the how you wear it, because I don't have a problem with the clip that's on the MP2X right now. It doesn't bother me a bit, but we'll have to see how the Evo feels. Like I said, I haven't felt one, I haven't seen one, wore one. Miss Maintenance about to have something to say about these expensive man bags. Yeah, I shipped that one to her office because anytime I ship most stuff like that, that's where I send it because they've got like a secretary and all that kind of stuff to take packages. But so she knew it was here. YouTube's been really glitchy the last week or so. That's what a lot of people have been saying, like the audio and all that's been out of sync. I remember the last live we had, everybody was saying that. If anyone has my list of vetoes, I'd trade you a Velocity MB200. So you got trade remorse, Bowery boy. Don't worry, just make another vid justifying the tool like the M18 compact rover light. Man, that light has ended up being my favorite light out of everything. Like that's definitely my most used light. Out of any light I've got, that one right there is the most used. And I didn't really whenever I was first buying it, I debated it for a long time because I'm just like, man, I don't know about $100 for that daggone thing. But I love it. That's my favorite light. It's the one that sits in my truck when I open my door. It's the one I grab out and take in any call that I'm doing just about for task lighting. Not at all. I'm good with it. Just not USA electrician friendly. Yeah, whenever I was like I said, I never loaded it out because I hadn't got around to it yet. But whenever I was looking at it, like the tool bag part of it's fine. But whenever I was looking at that front, I'm like, what am I going to use this for? Because I don't carry screwdrivers with blades and all that stuff. I know a lot of people do, especially the one people overseas do, which is what that's geared for. But there's a lot of people here that carry screwdrivers with all them blades and stuff, and I just don't do that. Like I don't. That's why I kind of swapped over to that Klein 6-in-1 for my insulated, just specifically because I like the Klein flip blade. Like it's a very nice screwdriver. I like the length of it and all that, but I just love not having to keep up with all these and just having it to where it's inside the handle is why this has become like my go-to for my insulated driver. We'll see you, Lexi. Kind of wish I had some water in here. Ooh, I do got some. I still like dedicated screwdrivers for building panels. I do use a multi-bit for walking jobs. Yeah, I use my dedicated Phillips slotted, all that stuff in my MP2 pouch. That's what I use all the time. And then I just keep those kind of multi drivers in my tool bags just because of space. Because whenever I'm doing something with my pouch, I'm normally not going to run into but one or two fasteners, like whatever that specific job is. So I can easily just trade out the screwdrivers with whatever I'm using. I more so use my bag. I take it in whenever I don't know what this is going to turn into, and I might need something weird or whatever. And this gives me more options for fasteners. But Mm, 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 mm. Yeah, this is the only thing new I bought this week is DeWalt bit holders, which y'all obviously know. I've got a billion of those. I was trying to think if I got it, which again, I got the flashlight video coming out. And then I've got some other stuff, but it's the dates on that are a little ways out. And I also don't have most of it. I've got one of the things over here on my list is I've got one of it in my hand. The other ones are supposed to be coming. Uh, Whether they do or not, I don't know. I still got to go and do my buddy's mini split. It's all in now. I just got to get the time to where I can go out there and do it and film that. And I know he'll be glad to have it. I think he's mostly like me though. I think he's going to use it more in the wintertime than the summertime, especially for him because he's not filming videos in his garage, like just sitting here like what I'm sitting here right now. He's usually got his garage doors open and all that kind of stuff during the summertime when he's working. So you can run fans and it's not that hot and all that kind of stuff. But during the wintertime, it gets kind of cold in these kind of garages if you don't have any kind of heat. And then that limits what you can store in them. So I think he's more so wanting it for heat, but I'm sure he'll be glad to have it for the air too. What's your favorite wood glue? Have you ever heard of Rue glue with a kangaroo on the label? No, I've not heard of it. I mostly just run. I don't know if I got any out here. I mostly just run Type Bond, but uh, I don't know if I got any out here. I don't think I've moved it out here yet. That's all stuff that I keep inside my house because this wasn't heated and cooled. I keep like paint, caulk, and all that in the house. I haven't moved it out here yet till I get done with all my storage shelves and all that kind of stuff. I usually run the green, which is what is it, Type Bond 3 or something like that, is the green. It's the interior, exterior. That's mostly just all I use. Multi-bit screwdriver in my troubleshooting pouch. I'd rather have a dedicated screwdriver when I'm installing equipment. Yeah, it's always I've mentioned it before. Like it's faster for me to if this was a Phillips screwdriver and I had a slotted screwdriver and it's in a pouch. Or here we'll just say this. You know, if I've got two screwdrivers that are Phillips and slotted, for me to move my hand down, put this in and pull another one out is way faster than, oh, let me open this up, do this, put this in, swap this over, put that in. Now, if you're only going to swap like once in a blue moon, whatever. But if you're sitting there going back and forth between two things, it's definitely way faster to just have two, dedicated screwdrivers and just sit there and swap back and forth as you're using them. So that's what I run in my pouches all the time is a Phillips is slotted, and then if I'm running something else, I just use usually like the Klein fast bit ball handle or the other vessel ball handles where I can put a locking bit holder in it like this. And then I just put whatever bits it is that I'm using, whether it's like T10, T15. If I'm doing like uh, electronic door locks, cameras, most of that kind of stuff's that. Or you get into some square one or two or some ECX. Type Bond or Gorilla Wood glue is what I mainly use. How's the Arc flashlight? Which Arc flashlight? I've got the Arc Flex, if that's what, but they don't sell that one anymore. If that's which one you're talking about, the Olight Arc Flex. Then they got like the Arc Feld. Olight has the Arc Feld Pro, all that kind of stuff. I'm not sure if that's which one you're talking about. Titebond is good stuff. A little slower setting and strongest, but darker when dry. Yeah, I keep a little bitty small bottle in my truck when it's warmer outside, like just a little small squeeze bottle, and then I keep bigger bottle in my house. I've got like a storage cabinet in my house, like in a little bitty extra like bonus back door room, almost like a mud room in the back, that I keep all my paint, caulking, wood glue, all that kind of stuff like that. I keep in there because it's conditioned. And like I said, I can eventually move all that stuff out here now that this is going to be, I'm never going to keep it like to the perfect degree out here all the time, but I'm going to set it to where it doesn't get below like 50 degrees or, whatever, to where stuff won't freeze. Arc Pro. Yeah, they're pretty good flashlights. I think I got one back here. Yeah. I don't know which one this one is. Is this one the Arc Pro? Yeah. Yeah, these are good. I like the feel of them, the size of them. Like I said, this is a much more slender feeling flashlight in your hand than like the Wubin X4. It's a little bit beefier, but this one also has like a side light. It's got a push button on the back, and if this thing's $40, I can't remember what these are, but I know they're expensive. Uh, so that gets into being pricey. But this one also has UV. I think this one in particular has floodlight spotlight. Yeah. They got some that have green lasers. I don't remember if this one has UV or not. I don't think so. It's got moonlight, floodlight. Yeah, and this spotlight. I was thinking this did have UV, but I'd have to open up the instructions. Now, if you hold it, it goes to the red light. Maybe it doesn't. I'm not seeing a. Yeah. I don't remember if it has one or not. No UV on the X4. Maybe it was the X2 or something. Or it might not be any of the Wubin lights. I don't. You know how many flashlights I look at? And I've mentioned that in multiple flashlight videos. Like, I'm starting to get to where I like the ones that are just like very simple. Like, this has a lot of different little modes and switches and like little dials. But if it was the only flashlight you use every single day, you're going to get used to how to operate it. But once you have so many flashlights and you start using different ones, especially between different brands, it gets hard to remember, how do I get into, I like the ones that just has a switch that, like, this one's pretty nice. You just turn it to UV, you turn it to floodlights, you turn it to spotlight, you press a button. That's what it is. So that's one benefit, in my opinion, of like a flashlight like this. It's really simple to use versus you have to remember some stuff on this. But if it's the only one you buy, you use it every day, you're going to remember how to use it all the time. You still use it, or has it been replaced by the O clip and the M18 compact rover? So the M18 compact rover is the light that I grab the most if I'm going in and doing work that's like not me crawling around investigating stuff, but like task lighting essentially. Like if I'm doing work and I just want to set a light out beside of me and light up like under a sink base, maybe inside of an attic, in a crawl space, that's the light I take because it's just easier to get the light exactly where I want it because it pivots. It's kind of just like that M12 one up there. But the right now, I've been mostly running this one. Not that it's necessarily better than the Arc Pro, but I do like, the pivoting head. This is the EDC09 from Nitecore, and kind of like the Arc Pro, it just has a switch over here on the side where that's the brightness is like up and down. Like you just have a switch for a flashlight. That's it. Like it's just a flashlight. You got three settings. You can change the color setting on it to different colors of whatever you want, but very simple, like super simplistic to use. Nothing crazy about it to try to remember. This one's still simple too. I don't mind it, but I've mostly been running this because I like having this feature. That's a big feature I look for. Before I got this one, I was mostly running the Arc Flex, which is Olight like the Arc Pro. That's got that same pivoting head, but they don't make this one anymore. But this was the same way. It's just a flashlight. There's nothing else. It's just a power button, press and hold to go through the different settings. Not a lot of crazy junk on that either to try to remember how do you get to this, how do you get to that. But I do like the flex head. It's something I look for. It's the same reason why I like the M18 Rover. This is obviously the M12, but I use like the M18 the same way I would use this is I can just set this down somewhere and move this to exactly wherever it is I want it, whether it's under a sink, whatever, and get it and not have to, try to prop this onto something. So that's why I prefer this kind of light for that kind of stuff. I can never get that thing lined up. It's got to be just right. Come on. We'll see you, Jeff. I have a couple Workos with UV newer in the purple. Workos makes pretty good lights. All the ones I've tried have been pretty good. Combination lock flashlights aren't the best thing. Yeah, I have found that. Like, I liked having the features, but I also don't typically use like green laser. I might use that to play with a cat or something like that, but very rare. I might have used it one time to point out something to somebody or something like that. But I'd rather not have to. It's okay with me if it's something like this where I just turn a switch to it to use it. I just don't turn it there. But if I have to like cycle through stuff to get to it, I'm never going to remember how to get to it. So it's nice to have all that kind of stuff, but at the same time, I'd almost rather have if it's going to be like crazy how to get to it, I'd rather just have a UV light. I'd rather have a flashlight and then a green laser, or something like that, and just get it out for whatever the specific thing is. It's very rare that like I'm in the middle of a job using a regular flashlight and I think, oh, I need a green laser now. Now, obviously, the idea is you've got it on you as an EDC for whenever you run into whatever that situation is, you can do it all. But if it's something that's very hard to get to it, I'd just soon not have it. I do like the green laser because most people have red. Some way saying he uses a flamethrower. Green is the answer in laser everything. I did see, I think was it Clint that sent a picture of a purple laser that Hoopar has. I didn't even know they made purple lasers. I'd be curious to get one of those just to see how that ranks in visibility, purple versus green and red. I don't know if it's supposed to be in the middle of green and red or if it's supposed to be better than green. I don't know. But Hoopar had a purple laser. I had never seen one. But yeah, green versus red, it's a no-brainer for me. Like I don't even I might have a just regular red laser or maybe a plumb bob red laser or something now that's really old, but if I'm buying one, it's going to be green. Yeah, I'd be interested. Matt said purple would be cool. I'd be interested to get one just to see what it looks like in comparison. And then maybe it works better in certain lights because that's just like the green versus the red. Like if you're in a fluorescent light situation that's really lit up in a room, it's pretty hard to see green or red. So maybe purple would show up more in that. I don't know. It's easier to see green than red, but it's still pretty hard to see both of them in a very well lit fluorescent light room. I use the laser for testing emergency lights. Dicky Doo said. So how do you test so if you hit something with a laser beam on an emergency light, it makes it go off? I didn't know you could test emergency lights with a laser beam. We're in real trouble if they make X-ray lasers pocket size. No telling what we're going to get in the next decade or so. It's been crazy what we've got in the last decade or so. Like it's the amount of advancement we've had in all sorts of tools has been crazy. Oh, I did get me because I had to have them. Let's see. I assume they're out and available. I did get me some over the glasses, safety glasses at Climb while I was there to go around. And since I can't see, I had to wear them on the plant tour. So I got me some over the glasses, safety glasses. I assume these are out now. So I do have a pair of those now. How often I wear them, I don't know, but I do have a pair of them now. They are out. So I got two bigger jobs coming up. I'm changing out a window bank at a place. I think the scissor lift, or not the scissor lift, but the boom lift, supposed to be delivered tomorrow. So we're gonna go check that out. And then also, I bid a commercial. It's in a doctor's office. It's a they got like a row of like 10 restrooms, and we're taking one of the restrooms, taking out the toilet and the vanity, and putting in a shower unit. And then cutting a hole going over into another bathroom to basically make two bathrooms. One of them's going to be the shower and the vanity, or the tub, the toilet and the vanity that's already in the one restroom, and then there'll be a doorway in that restroom going over into what was a restroom with a toilet and a vanity that's not going to have a shower room. They finally approved that, so I'll be starting that pretty soon. That's been in the I bid that like probably 3 or 4 months ago. I don't even remember when it was that I bid it, and been waiting on the owner to okay it or do something. So, and I'm sure they're going to want me to start right away. But of course, now I've got a job that I'm starting where we've rented a boom lift that, it's like, well, once I have that rented, I've got to stay on it. I can't just come do whatever. But other than that, I've mostly had a little bit of smaller jobs in the before like I said, last couple days I've been out of town. Before I left, I went into hung up a punching bag machine in a garage, uh, some curtain rods, couple exterior sconce lights on a garage, changed out a front porch light, What else did I do at that? Oh, put in some smart switches. I think that's all because I really only worked Monday of this week so far. Oh, and then I went to an office space and hung a TV, 2 or 3 bulletin boards, and I think a picture or something like that. If the emergency light is remote test equipped, a laser will work on them. I haven't seen remote test as a standard feature, but I could be wrong. Yeah, most of the ones that I've seen have been like, you gotta get up there and press the button type thing, but maybe I haven't seen some of the ones where you can use the laser to make it work. Do you like those Clarion smart switches? I don't think I've installed a Clarion. This one I recommended to the lady to get the same ones that I have at my house. They're like called smart. What are they called? Something. Oh man, I can't remember now. I get them off Amazon. They work with the Smart Life app, but then you can also hook your Smart Life app into your Google apps where you can use like your Google Homes and all that stuff. I can't remember what the name of them switches are, but she was asking me which one to get. They are significantly cheaper for those on Amazon than if you go to Lowe's or Home Depot and buy one. Like I think she got a 3 pack of them for the same price of one of them at Lowe's. And they're the kind that you don't have to have like a you do have to have a neutral, but you don't have to have like a hub or any of that kind of stuff. You can just individual switches. Since it's on the website, did you see the new Client Connect pass through an impact socket set SAE and metric 33 piece? I didn't see it there at Klein. No, I have asked about it though. Cassetta switches. No, I can't think of it's something Jim or something. I don't remember. And it's not written like on the switch over here because this one switch I've got over here, that's what that is. I'm actually going to buy me some of them and swap out all these switches I've been installing so I can just turn off all the lights whenever I leave from here and then turn off the lights everywhere in the whole entire garage. Right now, I've just got this one installed. It controls all my exterior lights and I never turn it on or off like here. It's just basically I'm using that as a hooked up to the internet timer for sunrise, sunset. That way I can just do that and it keeps up with the time and all that. I never have to reset it, restart it. And so every night when it's sunset, my exterior lights come on, and whenever it's sunrise, they go off. I can't think of the name of them to save my life though. We have some Lithonia lights that you can test with the laser. So is it like a sensor that you hit with the laser? Like I said, I think all of them I've ever seen have been like push button type. Maybe they got like some kind of sensor or something on them. Mm, mm, mm. But yeah, I probably won't get to work on my garage this weekend either because me being out of town, I got some other stuff I got to do. I teach classes and stuff on Sunday mornings, so I've got to do the stuff that I might would normally do through the week during the nighttime. I'm probably going to have to do that on Saturday since I haven't had the time. So probably won't get any farther along, even though I'd love to. There's a specific spot you hit with the laser. Yeah, I guess I've never seen those. That would make it handy though, because sometimes those things are in some spots where you can't really get to that push button without having, a lot of times if they're above a door, I can reach them because I'm tall enough to reach up there and hit them. But there's some spots where some of that stuff you have to get a ladder out to be able to, check them and all that kind of stuff. I always had them set up at the place I worked at. I had a list of everything, like Again, I was a facilities manager there, so I had every AC unit, refrigerator, washer, dryer, emergency light, model number, serial numbers, where it was. I had a whole sheets full of all that stuff. And then I had reminders set up like every so many years. I just go change the batteries in every emergency light, like every so many years. I didn't do it like go test them. I mean, we'd check them from time to time, but basically I just changed them well ahead of the time that they needed to be changed and all that kind of stuff. So we didn't have a lot of them going out like where you're having to just do one or two here or there. I had it set up in a way that we did preventative maintenance, in my opinion, where you just go around and take care of stuff before it's a problem instead of, hey, we've got like 15 emergency lights that aren't working now when we went around testing them. Now we got to change those. And then you have to remember which ones did we change last time. And now we're checking these. So instead, we just like, same thing with like smoke detectors, change them all X amount of years. What's up, Ray's Maintenance? Yeah, that'd be pretty sweet. I don't, like I said, I don't guess I've ever seen that any of them that have a little photo eye, or maybe they've got them and I've just never noticed them because I didn't know it was a thing. But that would be pretty nice if you could just test them with a little laser. Mm-mm. Matt said, Ray, do a live with Joey. Yeah, Ray, anytime you want to, if there's a week where you have the time to do it, I do it at the same time pretty much every week. So if there's ever a week and you're in the middle of a week and you're like, hey, I'd actually have some free time Thursday at, 6 o'clock my time's when it is Central Time, you can always just text me or do whatever and say, I've got time to do a live this week if you want me to, and we'll do one. You had the right program, just replace all the batteries in one go. Yeah, I hated trying to keep up. Whenever I first started there, that's how they were doing it, was just going around and like replacing them as you test one. You go around and test them like ever so often. And if one wasn't working, then you'd replace that one. But then you got to keep up with you'd have to write dates on them and all that kind of stuff. Keep up with when did I replace this one versus that one. I'm like, I just soon have them all like the same date and just you do a whole day of changing out emergency light batteries. Sounds great. Let's do next Thursday. Yeah, that works for me. Anytime you want to, buddy. Just message me like and let me know for sure. Or I'll message you. But if something happens and you can't, it's no big deal. But we'll plan for it. And then if something happens and you can't do it, you can just let me know. I know sometimes work happens and you can't do it. It's like it happens for me sometimes. If we're gone somewhere or whatever, and Thursday doesn't work. Yeah, I think it's good to have another person on here just for having extra people talking and all that kind of stuff. I told Clint that he needs the tool collector that he needs to. He doesn't have to talk or anything. He can go live with me one time. Maybe he'll do it, and just because he's got a lot of tools, like it's nice, and just have his camera and walk around, look at tools. I'll talk about what we're seeing or whatever. If he doesn't want to talk, like I can be like, oh, that's a whatever. Kind of like it'd be like a live guess the trades, except not guessing, but just looking at the tools type of thing. You'd have Clint's camera going on the other screen, looking at all the stuff he's got, type of thing. How's the weather treating us? It's been pretty nice. It's been like in the 70s. Like I think it got up to 75 or something today. It's 69 right now. 76, it says, was the high. And in the mornings, it's not been as cold, unless it's like really early in the morning. But by the time you normally get out and going, it's been like 60s and stuff like that. You can hear my sexy voice. Oh, I'm perfectly fine if you want to talk and be on everything. I was just trying to say if you don't want to talk, if that's the whole reason why you wouldn't want to do it, you can just go around with your camera and I'll kind of say, oh, is that the whatever? But you don't have to be on camera. You can just talk if you want to too, and just always have it turned away from you. But you can be on camera too if you want to. I'm working a lot, so I don't have a lot of time to sit down and do videos. Yeah, I get that. There since March, like January and February, I was slower, but that's been the case for me since I've started my business every year. Just doesn't seem like people do a lot. But then soon as March hit, I started getting pretty busy, and we've also done a little bit of traveling. And anytime I do any kind of traveling, whether it's a vacation or whatever, it's like nobody's doing my work for me while I'm gone. It's not like I work for a company and somebody's doing the jobs that I would be doing if I was there, and they're still getting done. Now, although on the bigger jobs, my buddy is around still working. Like he pretty much did this tile job that we had going on all by himself for the most part. But yeah, it makes you end up getting behind anytime you take off. When you work for yourself and you work by yourself and you take off work, it's not really a vacation. It's a break to make you either have to work really hard before you take off or work really hard when you get back. Mm, mm, mm. Oh man. But yeah, hopefully I'll get a good night's sleep and everything tonight. We got in late last night, so great idea to do a collab. Yeah, and you can come on here one Thursday too with me if you want to. See, like I said, anybody that wants to. I'm fine with anybody that wants to. It's no different to me of I don't mind doing the verticals with somebody else because it's still a full screen, like between the two people or whatever. I don't like doing the vertical whenever it's just me by myself because I don't like the look of it on the TV screen. So I'm sure another a lot of other people don't either. Um, but whenever you do two people, it still spreads it out over the whole screen. Yeah. So the guess the trade this week is just a pouch. So very small MPMX pouch. I don't know if we've done one that's just a pouch before. We've had several of them where it was like a pouch along with some other bags and all that kind of stuff. So very few pictures, but does have a pouch. And he did email me his answer now. So I do have his answer. So I could go ahead and film like the next one. I mentioned in the last guess the trade, I think it was, which I didn't even know I did it, but I'd already been putting in the description to go ahead and email me your answer because it has become a problem for me sometimes where I don't get an answer from somebody and I wait around to film the next one so I'll have an answer. And then, work hits hard on a Thursday or Friday or whatever. And I had been putting it off because I didn't get an answer yet. And the next thing you know, I'm scrambling to get it filmed to have it out by Saturday. So I'm going to start asking for the answer in the emails. And then that way, because I don't really tell y'all what it is, anyways, whether I know it or whether I don't. So, but that makes it so I can go ahead and film the next one whenever I just so happen to have time to do it. CE has a 4-hour minimum live clause. Ever going to get a shop cat? I doubt it. We've been to everybody's been wondering if we were going to get it because our cat that we did have, of course, we had a cat for like 15, 16 years. It passed away a couple years ago. It was the orange and white cat. I know it was in the chainsaw video with me and Miss Maintenance, like the M18 chainsaw versus a gas chainsaw. I think it went across the field one time in that, and then I remember it was on a video. I was changing the rear differential fluid in my truck, and I think she came up through there. And well, she's the one-eyed cat too, of the funny comment of "worry about your own dang cat." I mentioned that in the video, but the she passed away a couple of years ago, and then we got a cat, but my son kind of went and got her from the Humane Society. So whenever he moved out, she went with him. So right now we're currently catless, and everybody's been asking when we're going to get another one. But I think Amanda's liking a little bit of a break. Shop hummingbird. I would have to guess the trade incognito. My name kind of gives it away. Plus, I have like 4 bags and a bunch of pack outs, depending upon what I'm doing that day. Yeah, that's the way it is, Fag, on several people. Like, their name kind of does give it away, but it's just, even if that's the case, we still just like looking at people's tools. That's all. That's ultimately what we're doing with it. We just kind of throw the guess thing in there, something extra to do in the comment section just for giggles. But even if we know, that's kind of like the reload episodes. We already know what somebody does, but a lot of times they've got a newer bag that somebody might want to see the loadout of that nobody else has. I kind of thought of it whenever Matt's the one who brought it up to do it, but in my mind, it's more so of a, there's a lot of people out there that have good setups, nice tools, and they have zero interest in making a YouTube video. Like, don't have any interest in it whatsoever, don't want to do it. And but it's a chance for us to see those people's tools and their setup to see if there's something in it that maybe we can use in our setup. That's kind of the idea behind it more than anything. The guessing part's just extra. That's why I said shop cat, because they love laps while doing lives. I got a couple cats in the house, but Big Bud's a great cat. He's huge. He's in my channel pictures. Would you consider making a series about, is that broken tool worth repairing, or how do or do I just buy a different one? Uh, I don't know. I'd have to think about it. For the most part on mine, if I can repair it, I'll repair it. If it's like for instance, my miter saw had that switch problem, the M18 7 1/4 saw. I looked it up and I had a pretty good idea. That's what the problem was. I actually thought it might end up being a pinched wire once I got into it, but I decided I was going to go ahead and order that trigger switch anyways. I think that trigger switch cost me $40 or something to get it shipped to me in the whole 9 yards. And, that saw is $400. I could have maybe sent it off to Milwaukee, but then how do you ship a miter saw and get it back and all that kind of stuff? And I was just like, it's worth it to me to just spend $40 and do it myself and not have the downtime of it, not have to figure out. It'd take me more time to figure out how am I going to package it, how am I going to send it in than it would for me to take it apart and see if that switch ends up working. So it's pretty much to me a price thing. Like, if it's going to cost me $250 to fix a saw that cost me 350, $400, but that saw is also like 10 years old or whatever, I would probably go ahead and just buy another one. And maybe if I get the same one, I'd save the old one for some parts or whatever. But it's a every case scenario is going to be different based upon how long have you had that tool, how much is the fix. Hand tools and stuff like that, I don't mess with warranties, like going in places and dealing with it. Of course, I'm not a big Harbor Freight buyer of hand tools, so that would maybe be a place where I would do it because it's supposed to be easy. You walk in, trade it out. But I just know my luck at Home Depot or Lowe's, the way that they are. Anytime I do something else, it's like I'm not going to fight with people about a 25, $30 pair of pliers, especially if I've used them for 10 years and they mess up. It's like I'm just going to buy another pair. But I'd have to think about kind of what it is that you're saying and see if I can think of a way to. That's a short version of it, I guess. Joey, you value your time in some way, no way. Yeah, there's plenty of times where it's the same way I am with even fixing my own cars and stuff. It's like if it's going to be faster for me to just do it myself than to unload my truck of all my tools, take my truck in somewhere, schedule an appointment, find somebody to pick me up, find somebody to drop me back off. 9 times out of 10, I can fix whatever it is faster than that. And I get to buy some tools in the process. But then there's also some jobs where it's like, no, It's way too involved, and I'm not like it would take me 3 times as long as what it's gonna take this person. I'm just gonna go out and work and do the jobs I'm good at, make some money to pay this guy to do it. Again, it's all different, depends on the situation. Where are you finding Knipex for 25 bucks? Facebook Marketplace, man. There's people that work at Lowe's that get you some good deals on Knipex back in the day. If I take something apart, it ends up worse than whenever I started with. You'd be amazed how many, like if you just search whatever's wrong with your tool, like a power tool especially, uh, you'd be amazed. Like the answer's out there for exactly what it's doing. If you can figure out the words to use to describe it, the answer's out there. Like you can find what you or you can get at least narrow it down to I think it's this. You can see how much that part's going to cost you. Again, most things are not hard to take apart, and as long as you're taking them apart and remembering as you take them apart, you got to put it in reverse and do that same exact thing. You can pretty much fix anything, especially if you film yourself doing it, like because then you got that to go back to, like whenever you're putting it back together. Oh, I'm finding I don't have the patience to work on vehicles anymore. Never goes smooth for me. There's several things I would probably never work on Amanda's new car. I actually didn't even really work on her old car that much as far as anything in the engine compartment. I don't really mess with. It's way too tight in there like these days. I'll change brakes, rotors, all that kind of stuff where you just take a wheel off and it's all right there. But anything up in them engine bays now, like I'll change the spark plugs on my truck. I'll take out my throttle body and clean it and you know, all that kind of stuff, like general maintenance type stuff I'll do. But if it's something bigger, I don't mess with it. Remember, vehicles are put together by someone who may or may not be as smart as you. Yeah, it's like I've heard stories of the Ford F 150 plant that's in Louisville, up the road for me, of like they've got places for the employees to put their needles in the bathrooms and like everything. Like basically, everybody's just out of their mind up there building your trucks. It's what I've heard. I've not seen that with my own eyes, but I know people that work there. Like I know a lot of people up there, and that's what they say. I'll probably be getting a letter in the mail or a letter, an email from Ford now, but supposedly, or what's the allegedly? I guess I'll throw that in there. Itchy neck plant. What's up, Wings and Pizza? But yeah, I got some pretty cool stuff at Klein like that. I'll be getting in the mail whenever they send it to me that they gave me while I was there. Not tools, but kind of like just swag type stuff that was pretty interesting. Although I don't want to show too much because I think Steve's Woodshop's going to be going here at some point in time, so I don't want to ruin his gift. If he'll probably get some of the similar stuff. Maybe a wall clock that works. I'm hoping one of these days they're going to realize that doesn't work, and they'll be like, "Man, you really need a wall clock that works," and we're going to send you the neon one that's on eBay. It's like 170 something dollars, and they're going to say, "We're going to send you that one." That's like there was a huge Klein sign. My guess would be it was probably 5 foot by 5 foot, like like is it on the camera? Yeah, like this logo, yeah, in a circle. But it was like I have a sticker of it. Yeah, it's over there, and y'all can't see that, but I was like, man, I'd love to have a sign like that. Put that on my wall. Sounds like the plant has Boilermakers running it. Some of the Klein swag's pretty good quality. Tell Steve I'll take the 2K. Yeah, I saw his $2,000 pliers, Knipex pliers or $2,000 video. Tactics got a sign from Klein. Yeah, I saw that actually. I think his is white. I think a circle. I didn't know he got that from Klein. I didn't know if he got it from them or from somebody else. I got a pair of lineman pliers like what he's got that says Tools and Tactics on it. If you've seen his, they gave me a set of those that says Morgan's Maintenance on it. Same thing. But again, they're shipping it to me because I just had a backpack. Still no Jester sign. No. Matt's been bugging him about that. I thought his wood one looked pretty good. I don't know why he's making the other one unless after the fact he didn't like it or something. I mean, I'd buy it from him if he even needs to sell it to me. Like, I'd buy it from him. He said he got it from Klein from them on one of his lives. Yeah, I've seen that sign in a video now that you say that. I didn't see the video where he got it and unboxed it or did anything like that, but I've just seen it laying up on the wall. What did you get last year with your name? Last year they gave me a pair of Lyman 2, but they say like my actual name. What I do with those? I think I got them in my. It might be in my toolbox down there. I put them up somewhere. I don't think they're in here. I'm gonna dump everything if I. My Fiskars knife. Here's your flat surface. Oh, there went my hummingbird food. It was a pair of lineman pliers that had, but they said my name instead of these say Morgan's Maintenance on them. But I think they're actually, I think, in my Klein mod box. They might be in my pack out drawer. Let's see. Yeah, here they are. These were Journeyman ones though, as far as the grips. So these were the ones I got last time I went. These were still in the package. The ones that the other ones aren't in the package, but they say Joey and then 2025. So I haven't taken those out of the package. The other ones that I got coming, they're not in a package. Flat surfaces are the enemy. Yeah, this right here is not on this top on this toolbox. That's why I try to just leave it open. But I've been shutting it just to keep all, because I've been doing a lot of stuff that's dusty. So I was trying to keep all the dust from getting in there. Normally I try to leave it just open all the time. That way I don't do this right here. Yeah, and I also got a bag last year. I got a bag this year too. It didn't have my name on there. It's got Morgan's Maintenance on it instead of my name. Actually, that bag's in I've got it somewhere put up. I think it's over in my, I think it's back here. I've got it in a plastic bag somewhere. I think it's in my mod box too, though. I'm going to get it out and put it on that shelf that I'm doing. I've got it put up somewhere inside of a plastic bag so it didn't get dirty. Because it's like it's the canvas that's like this, so it's white. So I was making sure I had it kind of covered up, but it's a bigger bag, like a leather with leather handles and all that kind of stuff, and it's got like my name on it from last year. I took that lock mechanism out. It's the only my only gripe with that box. Well, right now, what I did was I took the little latches out of the drawers, like they open and close, and as long as I've got them open before I shut this lid, I can still open and close them. But if I ever open this lid, shut it while I've got like these closed, then I can't. But yeah, I'm gonna end up doing that. I think Clint sent me a video on how to cut those things off to make that work. I'm probably gonna end up doing that too. A shop cat would keep flat surfaces clear and be over here just knocking stuff off. I used to shoot videos on a red toolbox like that. Now I have a red toolbox that has now that red toolbox has future videos on it. Laws of horizontal surfaces consumed. So they did send, or they're going to be sending me. Uh, Tools and Texas got this too. I saw it whenever he got his lineman pliers. A black mat with the Klein like stamped into it, like my coasters. Uh, it's like basically this leather, a big mat that's probably every bit the size of like the center of this, like basically where I film, it would be that size. I might try that on a few videos to see if the black background is better. I don't know that I'll like it though, because I'm so used to this. And we'll see. I don't know how the light affects it or if it's better. I do like Sir Master of None's got a black, you know, diamond plate looking thing, and his videos always look really good. So I may try it on a few videos, and you guys will be able to let me know if you think that that's better, worse, or whatever. Because if it fits on here to where I could leave it on here, I wouldn't mind that. If I've got to take it on and off just to shoot videos, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to do that every single time. I'm gonna have to see how it fits on here though once I get it. That plastic play mat diamond plate looks good. Yeah, this thing that they're sending is kind of very matte, like it's not shiny black or anything. So I think it might would look good. It's just all my videos have been this for so long, it might look weird, for it to be totally different type of thing, but we'll see. I might try it. But I guess I'm gonna go ahead and get off here. I gotta make sure and put my tools and stuff in my truck because I am gonna work tomorrow. I don't think I'll need any some of these things, but I'm gonna go ahead and put them in there just in case. But I guess I'm gonna go ahead and get off here, get inside, get ready for bed since I'm an old man. One of the woodworking channels has flat black laminate on all his workbenches. Seems like it might be easier to keep clean. I think the lighting might absorb better, like onto black, to where you can see. Like if you have a tool stuck out over black, maybe you can see it a little bit easier, especially like shiny tools and stuff like that. But again, I don't know. My lighting in here is pretty horrible, so we'll see. But I'm gonna go ahead and get off here. Appreciate y'all being on here. We'll see y'all maybe Saturday in the guess the trade chat. I got a video, flashlight video coming out tomorrow. I'll probably put out this video either Sunday or Monday as well. But we'll see y'all on the next one.